Come on out and have some good times with B.A.S.S Bass Tournaments. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at Lake Berryessa, where anything and everything can happen at any given time. The weather changed left and right throughout the week. Getting here, we had cold weather. Yesterday was 20 to 40 mile an hour gusts. It was horrific. Today, this morning, flat, calm, crisp, cold, and beautiful day today. Hey, I've got the team of
Zach Richard, Chad Bross.
Mr. Bross, you netted this guy's big fish of the tournament, over 6-pound fish. And you guys took the win, champions of Lake Berryessa. How, when that fish came out of the water, what'd you think?
I thought, you know what? Loosen that tension and let's get it in the net. That was what I thought. That was it.
How many fish you guys catch today?
Shoot, probably only 10.
What were you looking for, and what kind of baits were you throwing?
We were looking for the biggest thing we could get. We were throwing swim baits, throwing worms, anything we could get, you know, anything that was moving around, because they weren't really hitting anything that was sitting still. I think I got one thing that was sitting still, and that was because I was tying something else on. That was it.
That's sometimes when you catch the biggest fish. I see that happen all the time on the docks.
Yep.
So, you caught big fish for the tournament. You said you got one of these 10 years ago?
10 years ago. Yep.
Nice, nice, nice. And it's not easy because this lake wasn't fishing easy. Typically, this lake is an 8-9 pounder.
Well, last week I caught a 10.35 out of here, which was big fish of that tournament. So a 6.65 I didn't even think stood a chance today. I figured there would be an 8 or 9 pounder caught. I came out Tuesday and pre-fished. He couldn't come, but I came out. I found a ton of bait in the back of a cove. I could see 7 and 8 pounders swimming in there. We went there today. There was no bait fish and no fish. So I told him, I said, you know what? Let's move out to the points off this cove and see what happens. First fish was a 310. Second fish was the 6.65. So all the bait had pulled out, and the big fish had pulled out with it. And to be honest with you, I caught it on a Hopkins spoon.
Is that right? How deep of water do you think that fish was in?
So the point ran from about 6 out to 35 feet, and I was throwing in probably about 17 or 18 feet. She was deep. You know, everything shallow that we had, because I mean, obviously in the back of the coves here, everything's 4 to 6 foot deep, right? I would say she came probably between 12 and 18 foot of water.
Okay. You catch a lot of fish on the spoon today?
Probably 5 or 6. I mean, it wasn't a lot. I actually broke my spoon off about 9 o'clock this morning. I found another one, but we saw the shad busting again, and then I grabbed a LV 500 and said if they'll eat a spoon, they should eat a yo-yo LV, and started throwing it out and ended up catching 2 or 3 more fish that way.
Well, nice. Anybody you want to thank?
Sure, I want to thank my wife. She actually is the title sponsor of my boat wrap, Sheer Madness Salon and Barbershop in Sassoon. Dam Bait out of Oroville, California. We're a wholesale distributor to a lot of tackle stores, Sportsman's Warehouse, Bass Pro Shops, and then Karina Mahler at State Farm sponsors me every year. And I appreciate them. So I want to thank you, Sherry, all your staff. Y'all always put on a great show. You know, I'm very fortunate to finally get this plaque. I've had this plaque before. And with the even with the structure that you have on who you allow to fish these tournaments and things like that, it's very hard to win one of these. And to win one back to back, or you know, anything like that is very hard to do. So you know, thank you to you and all your staff, John. You know, I've fished with y'all. I've worked with you, Randy. It's a top class circuit, and you know, I appreciate everything that y'all do.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank my wife Christina, my kids Henry, Ike, and Nick. And I also like to thank Sheer Madness for sponsoring us. And And I'd like to thank Zach for putting in all the work for us. He actually comes out here pre-fishes, puts in a lot of work, takes care of me, man. I like it, so thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for our champions here on Lake Berryessa.
Congratulations, dude. Hey, I want to thank you guys for coming out with Best Bass Tournaments. It's all about bringing fun back to tournament bass fishing.